It was at this moment that Joker realized he messed up. That's right, folks, this video didn't get made without going through a little bit of a drama. But never fear, everyone, we had an ace in our pocket in this particular instance. So hello everyone, Joker Plays here, and today's video is going to be another fun one. Today we're going to test a couple myths around the Storm King as well as Raven, so stay tuned. This was an action-packed myth-finding mission. Kicking things off, we're going to find out if we can see Raven's dungeon refresh at exactly the 24-hour point. To do this, all I had to do was come in a couple minutes early and just wait till that 24-hour timer hit. 2 hours later. Yeah, nothing happened. Nothing refreshed. It won't refresh if you're in here. We're going to call this one Fiction or Busted. Moving on, now we're going to leave the dungeon, come right back in, and find out if that's what it takes to reset the dungeon. Now, of course, for scientific purposes, you have to dance to make sure, right? Will you look at that? It still didn't refresh. Wonder what we're going to try next. When all else fails, time to go back to the tried and true method of going out to the lobby and coming back in. And just like that, the dungeon has reset and the ladders are gone. Well, almost all of them. Interesting. That brings us to the next one. Now, since I had some builds stay in the same spot, I wanted to test whether or not I could build a permanent bridge all the way across and see if that stays. And just like that, with the help of some movie magic through editing, we now have a bridge all the way to the other side that connects to the bottom. So all we need to do is wait 24 hours and see what happens. 24 hours later. It has been 24 hours and it's time to go back in and just see if my stuff is still there. Ugh, this one is busted also, and boy do I feel rough for losing all those materials. But wait, that other bridge is still there. I'm gonna test this again, hang on. Wait, I can't build just yet. I gotta take care of some light work. Bear with me. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so for control purposes, I'm building a bridge coming from this direction over just, you know, to see if this one will stay. And then I'm gonna build onto the one that's already there. Now, for some reason, over the course of the last couple days, this portion of the bridge has, I don't know, just stayed. So I'm gonna go ahead and add on to this and see if this section will stay. Let me tell you, nothing is more exciting than rolling the dice to see if you get to lose the materials or not. Okay, from this perspective, you can clearly see that I have a bridge on the left and one on the right. Ignore the one in the middle, that's what I used to fly over. But now I've got the new one that I put in on the left and then my control one that was disappearing before on the right. 24 hours later. Will you look at that? The one on the right has disappeared once again, which was my control, but the one on the left, the one that stayed there partially, is still there. So that means that this is possible. It's just going to depend on where you put it. So it looks like you need to build one on the left side, not the right side. Now for this last, most important myth of them all, I had to enlist some help. And with that, meant professional help and help that would create what I'd call the control group as well. Now let me set the record straight real quick. Every one of them are professionals. What I'm doing here is creating a control group composed of people who have not yet beat the Storm King in expert mode. And my professional has. So let's meet them. Starting off with our professional is going to be Kaboom 2084, who has defeated the Storm King several times already in expert mode. Next we have Sir Laughs-A-Lot, who has defeated the Storm King, but only in survival mode so far with me. And lastly, we have Ace, who has not yet defeated the expert mode Storm King yet either. A link to all of their channels is found in the description of this video. And you're dying to know exactly what we're testing. Well, let me fill you in. What we're doing is we're testing a rumor that if you remove all of your charms prior to going in to fight the Storm King, it's gonna be easier. And we're about to find out if that's true or not. Stick around. There is some additional information worth noting as well. This particular expert world has not yet had the Storm King defeated. Therefore, the game cannot make the Storm King any harder just yet. You add that with the fact that we have two people who have yet to defeat the Storm King in expert mode, along with two professionals who have, we should have a balanced entryway to basically test this experiment. As you can see here, what I ended up doing, as well as the others, was to unequip the epic charms that we had in place. Doing so, I also put them in my inventory to where I could access them a little bit fast once I got in. And so what we were left with in place was only our totem of returns, which meant we only had either 5 or 6 hearts, depending on which totem we had equipped. And of course, the next step was to go ahead and jump towards the gateway so that we can head into battle. Now, once we landed, it was now time to go ahead and equip our charms back. This meant that we went through the gateway to wake up the Storm King with basically little to no hearts in place. So going into this, we thought, yeah, this is going to be easier. I mean, obviously we had to, regain health, but our thought process was this was going to be an easy battle. And let me tell you, we were absolutely wrong. The game gave us dogs right off the bat. We were being attacked from so many different directions, and yeah, it just kept going downhill from here. I mean, it didn't take long, and we knew right off the bat that this was busted. This was definitely busted. In fact, we soon realized that it had kind of the opposite effect as well. This was the roughest start I've ever had in any expert battle whatsoever. As you can see, the enemies were attacking us from so many different directions. The Storm King had not yet even spawned in yet, and yeah. I'm going to let everyone in on a little secret. I can't tell you how many times we were knocked throughout this entire battle, and I would play it, but somehow the sound didn't come through. When I mentioned in the very beginning of the video, I said we had an ace in our pocket. That's because Ace ended up being our medic throughout this entire match. Ace came through and healed us and revived us several times. I can't even tell you how many times he revived us throughout the entire match. That includes both our control group participants, Sir Laughs-A-Lot, and the pros, myself and Kaboom. We were very thankful to have Ace in our pocket on this one for sure. Even at the very end, I found myself knocked once again, despite the Storm King just having just a little bit of health left. Only this time, everyone came to my rescue, luckily. Long story short, everyone, we defeated the Storm King. It was not easy. In fact, based on feedback from Kaboom and myself, this was the hardest battle we ever had to fight against the Storm King, even though we had, again, our control group. Never fighting the Storm King. We went in with low amount of hearts, as low as possible. And yeah, so we're definitely going to call this one busted for sure. This is definitely fiction. And yeah, do yourself a favor. Do not remove your charms before going into fighting the Storm King. It is not going to help. In fact, it seems to have the complete opposite effect. So hopefully this helps everybody. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. By the way, YouTube seems to think that you're going to like the video you see on your screen. If you can take a moment, go ahead and click on that video as well. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so already. And until next time, everyone, don't forget to keep gaming in your crosshairs.